welcome back, y'all. Thank you so much for joining our last set of questions. And now it's time for the next episode. Y'all ready?
Y'all ready? We hope y'all enjoy it.
Yes.
We hope y'all enjoyed the last one. So let's get into it. Look, I'm looking these green ones, I guess. Oh, it's mine again. Haha. What is your favorite part about being in your single season?
Ooh, I ain't got to answer to nobody.
I ain't gotta check in.
I ain't got to check in. I can actually, like, my single season, I would say, has taught me a lot about me and what I want when my husband does come along. It makes me really look back at what I kind of took just because I wanted a man, but it's making me really, really sit with myself and be like, okay, Jessica, you get to know you, baby girl, because how can you be with anybody else if you don't know you? So I think I don't have to answer to nobody. I ain't gotta call nobody and tell them like, hey, I ain't gotta worry about you being outside or doing anything. It's just a peace of mind. Like, granted, yeah, I'm still a mom, but I don't owe nobody nothing. Like, I don't. I owe myself everything that I have right now, and I'm gonna sit in that because I don't have, like, I think too, this single season has really made me realize that if I did have like somebody else, it would just put more on top of everything.
Let me say something.
I'm not in the mood to cook, clean for you, none of that. So I'm enjoying what this feels like because I've always been in a constant battle of my mind of like, I need somebody, I want somebody, I need somebody, I want somebody. But then I got somebody and then they kind of played me. So I'm enjoying what the Lord, like this single season that the Lord is sending me through, because it's making me appreciate myself. It's making me appreciate that whoever does come along, the Lord has detoxed me from all of these things that I've been through.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just enjoying life, honestly.
Look, y'all, we laughing, but when I tell you, this is the most peaceful season I've ever had in my life. I've never had a peaceful single season.
No.
This one, I'm just like, I love that they say I'm big on duality, right?
Yeah.
Two things can exist at once. I can be really, really hurt about everything that's going on and still going through my healing process or whatever, and still be very much at peace. Like, every time I think about like how painful a breakup is and all of this extra stuff, but then I think about the fact that, like, I don't have to worry, like she said, I don't have to worry about STDs. I don't have to worry about cheating. I don't have to worry about, oh, I got to check in and I can't come in at this time and I got to do this. And if I go get something to eat, I got to go buy him some and bring him some home.
Right. I got to call and ask him what he wants.
What you want. I don't have to worry about birthday presents. Yeah, I'm being real selfish right now and I don't get to do that. And that's not to say when my husband does find me, because I ain't looking for you. Period. So when the Lord reveals me to him, I definitely plan on spoiling him 100%. We're going to take each other on trips. You know what I'm saying? Like, your birthday should be just as important as mine. Yeah. Your Christmas should be just as important as mine. Like, you will not only be honored on Father's Day or at your funeral. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get your flowers while you're still walking earthside. You know? Because when he comes, I will officially be able to say that I finally gave someone the fully healed version of myself. Yes. And I can walk into that relationship knowing I don't need you. You're not this necessity for me. You're not the thing that is going to make sure that I survive or make it and all of this stuff. What I appreciate about this single season, my favorite part is that God is really showing me, like, honestly, you can do all of this stuff yourself. Period. You can literally do all of this stuff yourself. You can take yourself on that vacation. You can buy that house yourself. You can finish this degree yourself. You can pay that debt off yourself. You can do all of these things yourself because you're doing it through me. So that's my favorite part right now. The fact that
my favorite.
I'm just really at peace, y'all. Like, I sleep with my fan on high,
Period.
snoring, knowing that I don't have to worry about nothing that nobody else is doing.
Love that for me.
Look, let me tell you.
Love this for us.
You know that I could stay on the phone till 3 a.m. with my girlfriend if I want to, and I'd be like, okay, well, my man came home. Because very much so, when my man comes home, get off my phone.
No, seriously.
That is me.
That is it.
It's family time. I ain't seen that man all day. I'll talk to tomorrow, sis.
Mm-hmm.
So that's me. I think it's you.
It's me.
Mm-hmm.
Me again. What's one thing you had to unlearn about love, sex, or relationships?
One thing I had to unlearn about love, sex, and relationships. I had to unlearn that basically that love was sex and sex was love. And that was the only way to keep your relationship alive. Like if everything was falling apart, then that was going to be, the thing. I do believe that done the right way, sex 100% is important. It is integral for a healthy relationship. Because I mean, let's keep it above. God created it for our pleasure in a union. And the Bible even talks about how beautiful it's supposed to be and how beautiful your relationship with your spouse is supposed to be. But yeah, I think I had to unlearn that that was all that was required, basically. I think that, and I had to unlearn that love is more than just a feeling. Love is an action. There are going to be times where your partner is just not in the mood for physical intimacy. Maybe they just really need you to like talk to them, or like, hey, I really don't have the capacity for this. So and it's crazy that I even had to unlearn all that stuff. I think it's just that I fell into the wrong crowd, because that's not what I saw. My parents have been married going on 42, 43 years or something like that. My dad treats my mom very well. You know what I mean? And he's not, I'm glad that I get to talk to my mom now, because she has finally like let me into adult conversations.
Period.
And she's like, no, your dad doesn't, look at other women or treat me weird or make me feel like, XYZ if we're not having sex all the time, because I'm his wife, I'm his partner, I'm not, his plaything. But also that my dad can come to her and say, all right, it's been a minute now. You know what I'm saying? And they have these conversations, and they do all of this stuff. So I wish that I would have learned it when I was younger, paying attention to them. But like, I just had to unlearn that this whole toxic mindset around all of it. That like, well, I gotta be the freakiest person out there, otherwise he's gonna go. No, girl, he gonna sleep with you and then go and do whatever, if that's what he wants to do. So I had to learn that love was more than a feeling, and that feeling was fleeting. That it is an action. That sex won't keep your relationship alive. It is more than that. And that relationships are their work. It is a 24-hour job, and you don't get any days off, just like parenting. So that was mine.
Yeah, I would agree. I think what I had to unlearn is that you don't, like, how can I put this? Like, you don't love me just because I'm giving you sex. Like, I had to unlearn that that's not what makes this relationship work. Just because I'm giving you that doesn't mean that you reciprocate. And I may feel like, because you're entwining yourself with someone, obviously you're tying your soul with someone, and I had to unlearn, because I'm tying my soul with you doesn't mean that you love me. And you, like she said, you can go out and you can do XYZ while I'm over here still
pining,
girl,
looking crazy.
And then in relationships, like, I think that I just have to unlearn that I don't have to give all of like what my desires are to make sure that you're you're good or you're satisfied in this relationship, because this is a give or take. Like I can tell you how I feel, you can take it, you can fix it, or we figure this out. Like let's have a conversation. And I think that that's what I had to unlearn, is that I don't have to dumb down my desires to be with you. And I think a lot of like women feel like we have to put our stuff on the back burner to be with this man, to make sure that he rises up to be what he wants to be. Heck no, not in this season. We got to either be here or we could be like this, but then we talk about it and we kind of figure it out. But I just had to unlearn a lot of things, that it's not all about sex. It's not all about what I can give you, because like I said in a previous video, you're not going to use me up before somebody that really love me and want to be with me. I'm over it.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna throw off my navigation system.
Period. And that's just in a season where I just feel like I had to unlearn that it's not all about that. It's not. Mm-hmm. And that just shows me that all of the relationships that I've been in have been we haven't been compatible, because I have put down my desires to give you what you need. And I'm over here like feeling convicted in my bed, like, oh God, I know I said I was gonna do it no more, and I'm over it. Like I said it. I said I wasn't gonna do no more, and I keep telling everybody I learned my lesson when it was my son. I learned that this whole single mom stuff is
for the birds. It's for the birds. But I can say this is what my mom, when you were talking about like feeling seen, this is what my mom continues to come to me, and she said, when I get really frustrated about the fact that, like, I joke all the time, I'm like, I'm gonna just ship him off to Colorado and let his daddy deal with it. But to be fair, we're doing the hardest part, but we're building something and getting something that nobody can take from us. Mm-hmm. And the one thing, and she's like, she doesn't say it to be mean or rude, because like, he's doing what he's got to do and working and trying to get his life together. Mm-hmm. But I'm building something with my son that that he's gonna have to work extra hard to get. And I do not want to have to work for what I'm getting now later, when he's already become who he was, and now I have to like prove to him why I'm worthy. No. But I also never want to do that whole like, I'm worthy for XYZ from you because I popped you out and I housed you and I got cut open and blah.
That's no.
So that was the other thing that I had learned about relationships. Like, I had to unlearn, like, just because someone does something for you does not mean that, you get to monopolize their time in their life. Like, it doesn't matter how much I did for you or gave to you or whatever. You can still do what you want. Like, I'm not holding you hostage. And that goes for platonic and romantic relationships. Like, I've had to learn that in friend relationships and romantic relationships, that it doesn't matter how much I do for you. If we are not compatible, we are just not compatible. And I've had some really good friends that I've just had to cut off because I love you dearly, but we have outgrown each other. So yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
How many more pink ones we get? Okay, I want to look. Y'all know I'm girly. I want a pink one. That was mine. What's something that heartbreak taught you about intimacy? Funny enough, heartbreak taught me about intimacy, but not with my romantic relationships. It did basically teach me that intimacy is more than just being physical. Mm-hmm. And that is because I will be honest with you. The one thing that I told Jess and Sharice is that I do measure the men that I date up against the friendships that I have. I know that, men are not women and women are not men and all of this stuff, but there is a certain standard that my girlfriends have set. So the bar is very high. And what heartbreak has taught me about intimacy is that sometimes it is literally just somebody. I came and crawled in her lap and cried one day. Like, it has taught me that intimacy is more about vulnerability and about mental and emotional closeness than it is about that physical closeness, and it is more about um, just spending that quality time and loving someone the way that they want to be loved. So it taught me that I can be vulnerable, that I do have safe spaces.
Yep,
because when I got my heart broke, I went straight to my girlfriend and all of this stuff. But I think it also reminded me, it reminded me that I'm still a daughter first.
Yeah.
I think that's what it really did, because I've noticed one thing. I tell people all the time, if I call my daddy and I tell him what's going on, just know it's over. In any situation, just know it's over. And so it has taught me that you're gonna always need your parents. I still cry in my dad's lap. I still come to my mom and boohoo ball. When I was living in Texas, I was calling my mama every day about things that was going on. So it's just taught me that closeness is more than just being physical.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mental, emotional, and a spiritual connection.
It is.
That was a good one, Jess. Ew.
It's the ew.
What's it taught you, child?
What's it taught you, child?
Jesus.
I think it's taught me like that I do, like she stated, it that I have safe spaces, but it's also brought me into a place where I couldn't really go to anybody physically. I had to go to God. Like I couldn't figure out how to be able to tell anybody how bad my heart was broken. And the only person that could understand was God. So I had to create that space of intimacy with God and let him know, like, your child, your son, whoever broke my heart, hurt me. Come, like, what are we supposed to do about this? We jumping them or what? Like,
you said vengeance is yours, but it's not moving swift enough.
So I think it's brought me into a closer place with God and my safe spaces, and him bringing the people that I need to kind of walk with me throughout what this looked like for me. And like she said, it's not always physical. It could just be simply like a hug. It could simply be something else other than physical, like relations.
No, for real. Because I'm telling y'all, when I'm going through something and people call me, I think that's why I do that to you so often. But when people call me and they're like, "Did you eat today? Like, are you blah blah blah?" Because people who know me know that, like, if I'm heartbroken or I'm in a space that I'm just like, I won't eat.
Yeah,
I will not eat. I will barely drink. Like, I will waste away if I am really.
Yeah, I know. I told my counselor, I was like, I think in this kind of season that I'm in right now, I was like, what's really keeping me going is I have a son. So when I have my moments where I want to give up, like, I can't, because I gotta feed him. So if I'm feeding him, I gotta feed myself. If I'm showering him, I gotta shower myself. Like, I have to be able to let him see that I'm still moving. So that's why I'm super grateful that God did place my son in my life at this time. I'm not saying that that's my all be all, but in that I had to be very aware of the season that I'm in. If I wouldn't have him, I wouldn't have answered her. Sometimes I don't answer her. I just don't be having nothing to tell people.
She know I show up though, so
yeah, she will, but she knows I'm okay. Like, we pop in here and there, so it's like we have those moments, but it gives you a space to know, like, dang, if I didn't have this little person, where would I have been? Yeah.
Oh, thanks. They do. They give you purpose. They really do. And that's why it's just like, back to that motherhood question, right? Like, you really, there are two things. You really don't realize how strong you are until you have a kid. But I'll never forget that saying that said, nothing exposes your sins like motherhood.
Ooh.
Yeah. When I realized who I was as a person, like, and I think that's the other thing that heartbreak taught me. It's teaching me to have a different form of intimacy with my son, because I never want my son to be. I would love if my son was my dad. Like, that man is like, he's so honest. Sometimes we have to tell him, like, okay, tone it down, right? Be gentle. But I never want my son to be the type of man that broke my heart, because I really don't want any of, like, your daughters to have to heal from dealing with him outside of just the typical, like, he said he didn't want to be with me anymore. Yeah. You know, if it was something like that, like, hey, this is just not working. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. But it is. It's teaching me to be softer with him, and to mold him into, and to put him in the path of other men that I'm like, okay, cool. You know, and the good thing is, regardless of like where his dad and I stand, I do also take into consideration like what type of man would his dad want him around. You know what I mean? So there are certain people where like I know for a fact me and his dad would be cool with him being around this person. So, you know, we'll let that happen. But you know, it'll definitely teach you how to be better with your kids.
Oh, baby, let me tell you.
Dang.
Okay. This is yours. What is the biggest lesson you've learned about yourself this past year? 2026.
25.
25?
25.
Because it's not a full year yet.
We're halfway through, so we're gonna talk about 25 first.
I don't know. What is the biggest lesson you learned about yourself? I think the biggest lesson that I've learned about myself is that, let me see, because girl, it's been okay. I knew that I was a strong person. I've always had to like, I always like pop back out like, what's up? You know, like after everything. And I think that the biggest lesson that I've learned is that I got to stop lying to myself. And saying like that I'm okay when there's other people around me that can help me. So, in so many ways, the Lord has been expanding that for me and like really bringing that to the forefront, because I'd rather deal with stuff by myself. But that's a strength that I've like put upon myself, not that I have to. And so the biggest lesson is I'm learning to reach out. It may not be every time I'm going through something, but it's the little steps that has helped me within this past like year. Even these last what's May, 5 months?
Yeah, about 5-6 months.
We easing in there, and I think that's my biggest lesson, is to be able to know that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to put your guard down and say that you're not okay. Because I think I'm like a creature of habit, like that. Somebody will come to me, they're like, "Oh my God, how are you?" I'm like, "I'm good," and I'd like sit to myself. I'd be like, "Girl, why the hell?" Like, you know, like, sorry, but like, why would you? Like, no, seriously. In my head, that's what I say. Like, why are you like? Literally,
you just broke down in the car.
Yeah, like I couldn't explain it any other way for y'all to get it, but like literally, my mind was like literally right then and there, like, what? Like my soul, like I can't explain it, like my spirit, like my soul cries out, like, why would you just do that? Like that was an open door to you to be able to pour. You don't know what that person could have poured into you, but because you just said that you were good, you just let that opportunity cease you or pass you, because you just was like, oh, I'm good. Because people go by what you tell them. If you say you good, then you good. Because I would say the same thing for me. If somebody was like, Asia came up to me, I'm like, hey, are you friend? And she like, I'm good. All right, cool. Like, you know your people, so but
about that too.
Huh?
She's so literal about that, y'all. Because we had a conversation recently. She was like, I didn't know.
We did. And so that's what I think that's the biggest lesson that I've learned, is to be honest with myself, be honest with the other people around, because those are, to me, those are little lies that you could have told the truth in and just been like, I'm not okay. And sometimes you don't want to keep telling the same story, but my dad told me something today that kind of was like, dang, I didn't even think about that. He was like, you overcome by your testimony. And I was like, well, period. So if I don't speak up, if I don't say nothing, and it's just I'm dealing with it by myself, how am I gonna overcome it if I don't tell people, like, this is what I'm going through, this is where I'm at? And so that's gonna always stick with me, that he said that, like, you overcome by your testimony. And so I'm learning that. That's my biggest lesson, I will say.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, because you know, look, she'll tell you. I always say, I'm like, you have not because you asked not.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm gonna ask. Because I've never been somebody who was afraid to ask for help. If I don't know what I'm doing, then you know I don't know what I'm doing. But I think the biggest lesson that I learned about myself was that I really am that girl.
Period.
Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I doubt myself so much. I doubt myself so much. I question every decision that I make, down to my outfit choices. Okay, like I am just always in my head, and when I realized, like, no, you can just get up and go. And you can do all of these things. Like I put a ceiling on the things that I could do. And so this past year has really taught me, like, girl, do it all.
Do it all.
Like you literally can do it all. And but it's also taught me that I do not have to dilute myself so that people can, like, digest me. Like, no, you can choke. Because I should not have to dim my light.
Wow. I'm sorry.
I should not have to dim my light to make other people comfortable. And I think that is what I have always done that. Like, I remember I had a friend who made me, but I meant that with every fiber of my being.
I know.
I had a friend who, like, used to make me feel bad because I remember I made a comment where I was like, well, my parents didn't raise me like that. And she got so angry with me and was just like, well, you know, I'm sorry that I didn't grow up with both of my parents and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, people would say things like that about, like, the way that my life went or whatever, or that, you know, my life was just so much better than everybody else's. And so I think that I'm learning, like, no, you are that girl. And just because their circumstance looks different than yours doesn't mean that what you're feeling and what you're going through isn't valid, and that you don't have a right to speak on your discomfort. Because I would hold stuff back because I felt like I would make excuses for the way that I felt. Like, oh, well, my life doesn't look like that, so I obviously shouldn't be complaining about this, or, you know, this isn't happening and it could be worse, so I should just leave that alone.
Like, putting yourself in other people's shoes.
Yeah, I'm like,
let me compensate.
This hurts.
You
know, this hurts. I don't like it. I never thought that I'd be moving back into my parents' house, you know, 10, 15 years after being, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was on my own for a very long time, and now I'm back in their house, feeling guilty and feeling crazy about the fact that my child is running amok while they're supposed to be retired and all of this extra stuff. And I try not to, you know, complain or talk about how I feel or talk about the discomfort, because I'm like, oh, I mean, it could be worse. Like, you know, I know that everybody can't fall back on their parents and all of this extra stuff. So yeah, no, I'm just really learning that, like, how I'm feeling is how I'm feeling, and it's okay for me to come to my friends and say, like, I know that you have XYZ going on, but, like, do you have the capacity to listen to what I got going on? And come to find out, they do. They do. I pick and choose. I do still pick and choose. I will pay attention to, you know, I'm very big on reading the room. So if it's like everything has fallen apart over here, I can figure it out.
Yeah,
I can figure it out. But yeah, no, I am no longer dimming myself and making myself small so that I can fit.
For what?
It's just not happening. So yeah, no.
Sure turn.
All right, y'all. So that was good, wasn't it?
Oh my God.
That was good. We learned so much about each other that we actually did not know. So thank you for watching. We are going to cut this short because we want to give y'all time to think about our answers. We're glad that y'all got to know us. Ask yourself some of those questions.
No, seriously. Or some of your friends. See what they say about some of those questions, because I feel like some of those questions was like, okay, period. But stay tuned for the next episodes. We're so excited to share more questions with y'all.
And we hope that you like it. See you next time.